Page 15, Frère Jacques. This piece is for the left hand because all the notes are in the bottom staff. In theory, you could play it with either hand. I mean, they don't care when they write the music which hand is playing what. It's just usually convenient for the right hand to play the upper staff and the left hand to play the lower staff. Doesn't have to be that way. There's no rule says it has to be the no. But for right now, let's keep it all simple, and this is the way we'll do it. So it's left hand. And again, figure out where the hand goes. Well, you see the 5 under the C. The first note is a C. It is a C. You know that, right? You got the notes memorized, I hope. So you put your little finger, 5th finger, on C, and the other fingers on the others. That's where the hand goes. Well, real simple. Now, it's important to me that you understand all the symbols you see in the music, because they're going to add more symbols as we go through the book. Each symbol has a purpose for being there, or it wouldn't be there. So it's important that you really understand them. And we talk about the symbols, they all have their names, and if you don't know what the name of the symbol is, you get lost, you don't know what's going on. So let's just review everything. It's important because there isn't a lot to talk about on Frère Jacques. So the 5 lines is called a staff, right? And you have 2 of these in here, and you connect them with a vertical line at the very beginning of them. They're connected with a vertical line, and they have that curly brace. All that put together is called a grand staff. Most keyboard instruments use a grand staff, and if it doesn't have the curly brace in front of it, it's not a grand staff. It's got to have that, identifies it. If you could look at a conductor's score, and it's got all these instruments and all these staves in it, well, the piano part, if there is one, would be identified with that curly brace in front of the 2 staves for the piano. That's the grand staff. So you have a treble clef or a G clef in the top staff, that weird looking thing. And you have a bass clef or an F clef in the bottom staff, that thing, that curled thing with the 2 dots. You have a time signature, the 4/4. 4 counts to a measure, quarter note gets a count. There's different time signatures, but this one is that one. Then you have these vertical lines that go on ever so often through it. These are called measure lines or bar lines. Usually they're called bar lines, but it's the same difference, measure line or bar line. And they identify or separate the measures, or bars. Some people call them bars. So the space between these is called a bar or a measure. And when we say 4 counts to a measure, then each one of these spaces has to have the equivalent of 4 quarter notes, or 4 counts. Well, the first measure has 4 quarter notes, so all right, we're there. The second measure, same thing, 4 quarter notes, yay. The third measure has 2 half notes. Well, a half note is equal to 2 quarter notes, so if you put the 2 half notes together, you got 4 quarter notes. We're still good. The last measure is a whole note, and that equals 4 quarter notes. So again, it's got 4 beats. So every measure's got 4 beats, and everybody's happy. And that's kind of the way that is. Then at the end of the piece, you have the 2 bars at the end, one thick and one thin. That signifies the end of the piece. All right, pieces will end. Look at music and just look at that last measure at the very end. And unless it has a DC or a DS, and you know, this gets, sometimes pieces don't end at the last measure of the piece, the last measure of the written page. They end somewhere else, so you have to be careful on that. But if it, wherever those thin and thick lines are, that's the end of the piece. Even if there's more stuff after it, eventually you're going to end there. Okay, you may not end there the first time you go through it. You might have to go through it again to end there, but eventually you will end the piece there. I'll talk about these more as we go through them because it's important that you understand it. And if you're going through the book for the second or third time, hopefully you're getting this because you may have missed it the first. And yes, you should go through the book multiple times. You really should, because you'll pick up stuff you didn't get the first or second time. If you get partway through the book and get discouraged, then by all means go back and start it again. All right, really, don't give up. Just try it again. Maybe take a week off if you want. I don't know, but try it again. Let's play this together. Give us 4 counts and we'll come in. 1, 2, ready, go. 4 off.